Hey person, glad you're here. Seriously, just grab a warm drink, pull up a chair, sit on a sofa. You do you. And let's just chill in this little farm for a minute, shall we? I was playing this the other night, just doing the usual stuff mining, watering, fishing, and this weirdly heavy thought just hit me out of nowhere. It is that why is it that we as a generation have absolutely everything, yet it feels like we have nothing at all? And what are we trying to find out about the things that we have? What have we lost while reaching for the sun? Think about it for a second. We are technically the most liberated, hyper connected, and technologically advanced people to ever walk this planet. We have the entire history of human knowledge sitting right in our pockets. If we want food, it is at our door in 20 minutes, if not 10. If we want entertainment, we have millions of movies streaming instantly. We broke away from the old rules, the strict traditions, and the rigid structures of our grandparents because we wanted to be free. We wanted to build a world where nobody tells us who to be, how to live, or what to believe. And we did it. We won. Now we got our absolute freedom, and nobody tells nobody nothing. But let's be completely honest with ourselves tonight. Are we actually happy? Do we like the world we have fought for? Or are we just completely, utterly lost? It's crazy because if you look closely around you right now, young generations everywhere are not so quietly running back to the old ways. It's happening in the strangest forms. Some people are getting deeply into astrology and crystals. Others are spending thousands of dollars on silent meditation retreats. And a massive, surprising number of people are actually returning to ancient, traditional religious structures. People are forming communities with like minded others more than before. We are trying to find a place where we are what we are with others that are close to what we are. But why is that? Why is a generation that fought so hard to escape the past suddenly so desperate to run back to it? I think the brutal truth is, modern life gave us absolute freedom, but it completely forgot to give us a blueprint. We don't know what to do with all that so-called freedom now. Of course, it is perfect to be able to express ourselves without the risk of being burned in the town center. We wanted everyone to be able to be their authentic selves, and to be honest, our generation was mostly successful in that, thank God. However, now we feel like we need some part of the old ways that we had to leave behind for the greater good at the beginning. Like certain rituals, certain communal behaviors, certain limits that we put to ourselves. For thousands of years, human sanity was anchored by rituals. It didn't matter if you lived in a small village in Europe, Asia, or the Middle East. Your life had a rhythm. You knew your neighbors. You had a community. You had specific days of the week where you stopped working. And you had a shared story about why you were alive. Every day, when you wake up, you know that what you will do, and there is a short list of what can happen. Your mind was free of unexpected constant stress factors. Because there were boundaries. And those boundaries, even if they felt restrictive at times, acted like a safety net for the human brain. If you're a blacksmith, most of the days The only thing that can go really bad is no sales or a knife that is broken on the final polish. And that was the boundaries of your stress factor for a day. But our modern world dismantled all of that. We stripped away the ancient rituals, we declared ourselves completely independent, and we replaced them with basically nothing. Just an endless scroll on a 5-inch screen, a hyper competitive job market, and a chronic, burning anxiety about creating our own identity from scratch. And now we are carrying the stress of this all connected world. Think about how exhausting that is. Every single morning you wake up and the modern world tells you, that is bad, this happened, which is worse than before. We will all die because of the heat. AI servers are consuming all the water we have, which is an AI essay, by the way. Or you see, if you want to be something, you should sacrifice everything and anything you want. You have to invent yourself. You have to build your own brand, find your own purpose, figure out the meaning of life all by yourself. If you are 24 and not own a house, you cooked. Like, okay. But I don't want that. I have a limited lifetime, which I want to deal with limited stress factors. If most of us want something, that is happiness. And if you put constant stress on yourself, how can you be happy? That's not freedom, that's a trap. It's what psychologists call existential dread. When you have infinite choices, you get paralyzed. You start overthinking every single move. Am I in the right career? Am I dating the right person? Am I maximizing my potential or am I missing out? We forget to stay in the moment. We are moving all the time. No sit to relax. And then there is a burnout, which people may say you're weak. We are drowning in a sea of endless possibilities, and our brains are practically screaming for a shore to land on. And nothing will lead us to shore if we always fight the flow. That is exactly why people are running back to tradition. It's not because they suddenly became narrow-minded or superstitious. It's because they're desperate for boundaries. They want someone or something to tell them, here is this line, inside this line you're safe. Inside this line your life matters. When a young person suddenly decides to strictly follow an ancient religious practice, or when they start meditating for 2 hours a day, or even when they strictly follow a crazy diet, and they talk with persons who are doing the same, they aren't just looking for a habit or friends. They are looking for ritual and community. They are trying to outsource that agonizing individual decision-making process to something older and wiser than themselves. They may say, I'm tired of inventing myself every single day. I want to belong to a story that started long before I was born, and will probably continue long after I'm gone. Look at what's happening on the screen right now. Why do millions of us, adults with real jobs, bills, and a massive life stress, students who have exam the next day, sit down at night and play a 16-bit pixel game about farming? Because it gives us back the simplicity we were biologically designed for. For example, look at the screen. In this game, the rules don't change. You plant a seed, you water it, it grows. The worst thing that can happen is a crow eating your seed. You walk down to the river, you cast your line, and you wait for a fish. It's rhythmic, it's predictable. It's a simulation of the traditional, simple life our ancestors lived for millennia. Our brains crave this structure because deep down in our DNA, we are still tribal creatures who belong to the earth, the seasons, and the quiet rhythm of the community. We weren't built for skyscrapers, algorithms, and 24-hour news cycle. So what's the takeaway here? Is the solution just throw away our smartphones, move to the mountains, and join a monastery? Maybe for some, but for most of us, let's be honest, that's not realistic. We have to live in this modern world. We have to pay our rent, we have to use technology, and we have to navigate this chaotic order. But what we can do is stop treating the past like it's something we are too smart for. We've been taught that progress always means moving forward, changing everything, and breaking every rule. But sometimes, true progress means realizing you took a wrong turn miles ago and having the courage to walk back to the crossroad. You don't have to become a radical traditionalist to save your sanity, but you do need to start bringing rituals back into your life. You need to create spaces that the modern world cannot touch. Maybe it is as simple as turning off your phone every single Sunday and just walking in nature without a destination, like our ancestors used to do. Maybe it's sitting down to eat a meal with your family or your friends without a single screen on the table, and actually treating that dinner like a sacred ritual of connection. Or it's just dedicating 30 minutes of your morning to absolute silence, meditation, prayer, anything that will anchor your mind before the world hits you with that digital storm. We need to stop waiting for the modern world to give us peace. It's never going to happen. The system makes money off of our chaos and our scrolling. Peace is something you have to actively take back from the modern world. As the night falls on our little farm here and the day winds down, I want you to just take a breath and look at your own life this week. If you've been feeling this heavy, unexplainable emptiness lately, if you feel like you're running as fast as you can, but you're still empty inside, please know that there is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken and nothing is wrong. You're just a human being experiencing the natural side effects of a world that lost its roots. You don't have to figure everything out tonight. Chill. You don't have to invent a perfect version of yourself like tomorrow morning, so relax. Just allow yourself to slow down. Look back at the things that kept humanity grounded for thousands of years. Simplicity, nature, stillness, and deep, real community. Running back to tradition or the old ways of peace isn't a step backwards. Maybe you can find something that will help you, because some things we forget helped people for centuries. Having a ritual of habits is just an attempt to find a home in a world that feels completely homeless. And you deserve to find that home. Anyway, the farm is quiet now, and it's time to rest. If this little late night talk meant something to you, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps more than you know. And seriously, leave a comment down below. Let's talk about it. What is one old simple ritual you miss? Or maybe you're actively doing that. I don't know. I'll be down there reading them. Take care of yourselves. Protect your peace. And I will see you on the next road. Good time.